Hello everyone, welcome to another year in our garden. Now I hope you've all had a nice Christmas, a good rest, and Happy New Year to everyone. And I'd also like to welcome all those new subscribers that we've had while I've been having a rest. Now I know it's mid-January, a bit early, but we will need to get the onion seed in. I'm doing the onions from seed this year instead of buying the sets, because the sets haven't been very successful in the last 2 or 3 seasons. They've tended to rot off. So we'll have a go from seed, and if these rot off, then we know we've a problem in the land. So we need to get these in. Also, I got a packet of free tomatoes, so I'm going to put those in because I want to try and do an early set of tomatoes, a mid-season set as normal, and then a late set, so it takes us well into autumn when we've still got tomatoes in the greenhouse. Hopefully. We'll have to see how we go with that. So we'll pop these few onions in. We'll just show you what we're going to put in, and we'll get those in, and I think we'll prune the grapevine. It's totally dormant, so we need really to just clip it back a bit. I have done 2/3 of it, so I'll do the last little bit with you so you can see what I've been up to. Let's put some seeds in. These are the seeds we're going to put in. I bought them from these two from local superstore, if you like, and that one we got free with Kitchen Garden magazine, so we'll put those in. No great loss if we don't get them up. Now this is a compost I'll be using. It's just ordinary potting what I'm going to put them in. I have pre-warmed it instead of taking it straight out the bag stone cold. I've had it in the greenhouse for a few days and then 2 days in the propagator, so it should be warm at the bottom. Remember, we need the bottom heat to come up to make them germinate and put the roots down. We'll put these Santero in first. The hybrid, they're a white onion, but I call them a brown onion. The white onion's a little bit different to me, so this is what I call the brown onion. The seed, small and black, and we shall put them all in. We'll not want them all, should they all come up, but by putting them all in, we can pick the best for potting on later on. So I'm just going to scatter set them just on the surface. Now when you're doing this by hand, try not to squeeze and rub the seed together when you're doing it, because you'll bruise the seed and then it will just rot. This is, if you can do it like this is better, because you're not actually scuffed. There is quite a few seed in them. There you go. That's all in. Packet's empty, and get rid of that. We've got a label ready. I just want to put a scattering of compost over the top with the sieve. Just enough to cover the seed. And then we'll just spray a bit of water on it. The water has been in the propagator as well, so it'll be the same temperature, so they're not getting cold. There you go. I'll just press this down with my presser downer. There you go. Put the label in. I should just spray some water on it with the bottle. I'll do it over the side so I don't want to get the table wet. So this has been in the propagator, so it's the same temperature as the compost. It's not a shock again, okay? So I'll just spray a bit of water on it over there and bring it back. That's had a spraying of water over the top. I did pre-damp the compost yesterday, so it's nice and damp and warm. And that will now go into the propagator. Same again. These are the Red Baron. It's not a hybrid, but it's a good red onion. No, it won't show. We'll just scatter straight from the packet this time. I don't want to handle them if we can help it. Just up and down in lines, and then we'll put them all in. Then should they all germinate, we can pick the best. There's quite a few in there as well. That's good. I should just do the tomatoes into here as well. I don't want so many tomatoes, but we don't know how many seeds there'll be. But it's Alicante, so it should be quite a few, I think. Same again, put them all in. Oh, we'll put half of them in, I think. And pick the best. We'll only want half a dozen, then we'll have to find somebody to take the rest. There's no problem there. Same again, just cover, just enough to cover the seed. There you go. That was just nice for those onions, that is. Now, tomatoes normally need a little bit more cover than the onion, so we'll top this one up a bit, then squeeze it down. It's best to use the screen. If you put it on with this lump here, you'll find that the seeds struggle to get through the lump. So if you just sieve some on, it makes life easier. You can use vermiculite in your compost as well. We'll perhaps be using that on some of the other ones, but to get these going, we'll just use the compost. And press down. That fits in there. No, you would have thought that were made for the job, wouldn't you? And then that one. Tomato and red baron. I'll just spray the water on, then we'll put all three back into the propagator. Now this is the propagator I use. We've had it a year or two. Diane actually bought me these for Christmas, and I think Gemma bought me that one. I put it inside a box, and the box is actually lined with polystyrene just to keep the heat in a little bit, because you can imagine in the shed it will cool down from the air quite quick. Now this is got a thermostat on it, and we'll put it into the onion one on this side. I'll show you in a moment. That's the red barrel. When you're using your propagator, try to, if you've got it switched on, fill it with trays, even if it's got like these, just composting, no seed in those, but it just helps, else the heat is going straight up into the air. There you are, they're in, and we'll put the thermostat, which is this one, and we'll just pop it into there, and then when that gets to the temperature, it will switch it on and off and keep it just right. The temperature at the moment, as you can see, it's heating up now because the red light's on, and that's on about 22 degrees Celsius, so that's quite high, but it'll do to start these onions off. We just pop that at the side. Then we'll just pop the lid on. Now there is a cutout on the lid that allows the cable to go through, see? And we'll keep the vents closed for a couple of days, and we'll just keep our eye on it. Now just before we walk away, I've put the water in. Screw the top down so it won't leak. And then we just lay that at the back, and then that'll, when I come to water them in a couple of days or tomorrow even, the water is the same temperature or thereabouts as the trays in there, so there's no shock to the seed that will slow them down. Now that's the first set of the season done. I'm pleased I've got that done. I've been wanting to do it for a day or two. Now don't get dashing in and setting all your seeds just yet. We've still got some bad weather to come, especially up here in the northeast. Now we need to go out. I'll pop my coat on and we'll go out and we'll finish pruning that grapevine. It is turning quite chilly out there now. As you can see, the far end, that's all been pruned. This end, I've left these two little bays here. We'll do that now and we'll show you how I prune the grapevine. Up on the ladder, as you can see, all these little shoots are beginning to swell a little bit, but the vine is still very dormant yet, so when we cut it there'll be no leaking of sap or anything like that on them. If you're a little bit concerned, the best thing to do is cut a piece and see if it does weep sap. If it does weep sap, then obviously you've missed your window to get it done. Now what we'll do, all these little buds at the base of the stem there, there's what we want. Another one there, look, can you see there's one there and one there? So we'll take off there, there and there on this one, and likewise we'll go round all the shoots, and you could take them off here if you want, but I like to give them that extra one just in case, so we'll take those off. Let me show. So nice sharp secateurs obviously, and just as you can see, it's, let me just take this one. There you go, it's alive and there's no seepage. The green shows that you're nicely alive but not running sap yet. This one, that one's alright. So that's what we'll do right round. So if I take this one, you won't be able to see this one, it's behind, but same thing. So remember, we'll leave 1, 2 and we'll cut there. This is twiggy here, look, so we'll take that off, we don't want that. There you go. And you see these down here, take those off, that's nearly dead, that one. And here look, 1, 2, so we'll go on there again. The fly when you cut them off, same here, 1, 2. There's a branch there, I think I'll take that off. Tidy them up as you go as well, and that's how I do it. Let's sort this out. So we've got there's another bud there, so take that. One there, not so we take that if we can. Yes, get these twigs out of the way, and then 1, 2 there, there, and that one snapped. That was dead anyway, that we just cut. Can you see there's no green in it? So that was coming off anyway. There you go. So that's what we'll do all the way along. Now this is a black hamburg grape, well established now, but if you remember last year we planted a white grape. I can't remember the name because it's right down the other end. Now because this is its first winter, I'm not going to prune it. I'm going to see what grows and then maybe just trim it lightly in the summer. If we don't control it now, if you remember by the end of summer it can put up to 3 foot of growth on all this, so you must keep pruning these Hamburg grapes back. Now it's been a lovely day, a lovely clear sky, but by Jove, it's getting cold now. Now I've been and harvested a few bits, and we've fetched some out of the store in the shed, just ready to go up to the house, but we'll just show you what we've got. First off, the leeks. Now when I got down to about my last 6 or 7 leeks in the garden, I actually lifted them and brought them up into the fruit cage and heeled them in so we could get access to them easy. There's about 2 left now and 2 we've got here, but they're perfectly alright being lifted. I just want to show you how the tops have gone a little bit drab with being lifted and heeled in, but I'll cut that off now and you'll see it fine. This is just dirt, that's fine. There's no markings on them at all. Lovely leeks. Remember, they were grown under the insect mesh, which has kept them lovely and clean and nice and white. So I'll take this off. Nice sharp knife. There you go. That looks better now. We'll take this off and give it a good wash when we get up to the house. So there's 2 of those. As you can see, 2 nice leeks. The other thing is, when we lift the Brussels, I take the tops off and give those to the chickens. I know some people like to eat these, but I find them a bit strong. So we'll just take that off. Look, it's just a stripe with the knife. There you go. What I will do is I'll pop that into the chicken pen, and it's some nice greens for them while they're not getting down the garden or getting out on the lawn. They like them. There's the celeriac, still wet. They've not been out the ground very long, but they'll be fine now. Now the other things we've got here are what we've brought out of store in the shed. There's a few apples. Now the apples are lasting very well. These are the Spartans off that little apple tree that we've got down there. They're just fine. They still can be used. They'll make some lovely crumbles, or you can eat them fresh. Potatoes with about a sack and a half left yet. My hands are very wet, that's not very good. Potatoes about a sack and a half left yet. These are the onions off the onion strings that we did. These are actually Red Baron, so they'll be fine. And I can't remember the name of those, I'll have to look it up. There's a spaghetti squash still to eat. Very nice, I like those. And a few garlic going up now. I've had a lot of emails of people asking me if I'm alright because they haven't seen me for a short while. But yes, I'm fine. Diane's fine. Cold, but fine. And the other thing I wanted to say was, we've got these coming out of store in the shed, but also in our freezer up at the house we've still got some of the fruit left. The raspberries, the gooseberries, the red currants, the white currants, all being in use up there yet, and still got rhubarb, believe it or not. Now that'll be about it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, we do appreciate it, and also those kind people who do subscribe to the channel, many thanks. Now, as I said, it's very cold, so we'll call it a day now, and I'll see you in about a week. I think we've still got some fruit trees to spray with winter wash. We'll also do the grapevine, which will want a good winter wash, and a few more seed to put in, I think. And we need to start the plan on the board so we know where we're going to put all these plants. So I'll see you in about a week. Bye now.